What's up, guys? This is Mitch back here, and welcome to the Movement Center, and welcome to the hockey series, where we break down the hockey player from the foot, ankle, knee, hip, low back, shoulder, elbow, and wrist, so that you can move like you mean it. What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 4 of the hockey series. And so for this episode, we actually broke this up into 2 parts because hip's just so awesome. We have to do 2 parts of this. It's too big. All right, and so our first part we're going to focus on today, part A or part 1, is going to be the front of the hip. A lot of hockey guys get hip flexor strains. Part 2 is going to be our next episode. And that's going to be more on groin and some things you can do for that. Okay. So to start with here is for the hip flexors. Is we look at a lot, guys, is if people can't get back into full extension, right, and you're kind of straining these hip flexors, or you've just injured yourself so many times that you start to lose strength or stability on hip, and all of a sudden you can't drive up overhead like you used to. So you do that so much for a game, you start to lose that strength. So we're going to show you guys a test for this, a release for this, and then a way you can activate this movement to be a little bit more awesome and stay hip flexor injury prevention a little bit better, okay? So we're going to have Marco over here. Take a look at it from the side. Now he's going to go into our test position, which is a lunge. So he's going to drop down to a lunge for us. Perfect, and he comes down. And this is where you're going to look at here. So you got a pretty good lunge. And we're going to look at him from here. And what we want to focus on, I'm going to have Marco fake some of these things, is if you can't get this hip back, or in order to get down, you arch your back or extend your back. So Marco, you arch, kind of overarch yet. So a lot of guys will kind of overarch because they're stealing their hip flexor length a little bit. That's a problem. If you're someone whose knee comes in or kind of wonkies out, or you can't quite hold the stability, that's also a problem. So come on back up. What if you lunge back a little bit further? So I'm going to really far, stretch that foot back far, far, far. Good. And so now you can see with that little bit more limit of range, he's kind of opening up his hips a little bit and changing his position. So you want to make sure that he can get a bit better into that movement. All right? That's the test for this. Now, what we're going to do in terms of release is grab ourselves a lacrosse ball. And this one's painful, I promise. Unfortunately or fortunately, so we're going to take that and sit down on our bellies. All right, so we're going to get down like this. You're going to come across the front here, Marco. Good. And he's going to sneak down right near where his front pocket would be. That's our TFL, one of our big, strong hip flexor muscles. And he's going to get into there and kind of sink into that a little bit and hit that knee. He can bend it up and down. But then what he's going to do once he gets pressure on it is rock his hip back and forth. How's that feel?
Not very good.
Not very good. So this shouldn't feel great. It shouldn't feel weird. It shouldn't feel nervy. If it is, take a break, change your position. But the idea here is he's getting pressure over that muscle and working it back and forth to get that TFL or tensor fascial ladder, really anything in the flexor region to kind of calm down and release and let you get back further into an extended position. All right? That's your release. You can sneak on up. And then once that's done, you're going to actually go into that stretch in your lunge position. So now I'm going to all do this here for us, guys, is you're going to drop down into that lunge. Right, come up tall like this, squeeze your butt, do not overextend your back, squeeze and drive forwards, and we may have put in a link to a full video of demonstration of this, but you're holding that position, picking that up, and really trying to open up the front of your hip. If you feel it lower, or you feel it somewhere else, you're probably not stretching the right thing. So really kind of get into this, squeeze your butt. You don't need to go way out here for this one, guys. It's really right here. Hold, drive forward, pick up the front of the hip. Cool. So that last piece, once you want to get into and activate this, is some eccentric strengthening for that. So we're going to sneak this around Marco's ankle. Good. And I'm going to be a wall or a pole here. And what he's going to do is go into a lunge slowly and then let that foot slide back. So he's going to control that slide. And what he's going to do is pull from his hip flexor to drive his foot up. So he's going to come up and drive. Pull that knee up into a flex position. Hold for a second, come back down, and slide back out. And what's most important about this is actually the way back. So come on back again, Marco. And he's controlling that slide out from the front of his hip. Good. And he's also getting stability on his other hip as he does this and drive forward again. And so he pulls up. Good. Pulls up towards that flex position. Awesome. And then comes back down. So if you currently have hip pain, this isn't a great one for you to try. It's probably going to be sore for you. But if you're not in pain, it's a great one to strengthen. Or if you're at the end stage of your rehab, this is a good one as well. How'd that feel?
Oh, good.
Good. Awesome. So if you guys have questions about this at all, leave it below. Throw us a like if you have any, if you like it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And of course, move
Like you mean it.
like you mean it. Thanks a lot, guys.